As somebody said, I'm truly an elementary student, or a teacher. My 7 strategies and insights I did in a collage of a box. I thought it's something that I could keep in the classroom and hang up. And one of my insights is at the bottom. It says, make sure you take it down every year. So I'll start out with the mirror. And the mirror symbolizes reflection for the strategy of like the reality check, where it's a tool for the teacher to see what the students have learned. By going around and reflecting on what you hear from the students, you can observe how well they're grasping the topics. And it's at the same point, it's very important that you always know 3 things, at least 3 positive things about your students, the insight, so that you can get to know the students a little bit more and help you with parent-teacher conferences and things, and it's good to know a little bit more of the student. My favorite that I've observed in the classroom is the parrot, which is symbolizes Simon Says. And one of the techniques that a lot of the teachers do is the teacher starts by saying, listen up, hands on the head. The kids are still a little noisy, and then she says hands on the shoulders, and by then they've all kind of quieted down. She can redirect them and go on with her lesson. And unfortunately the smell is not wafting in, but these are all smelly stickers. So that would be the insight of associating smell with an activity that can help the students recall and learn the lesson. Can't be a teacher without an apple a day. This symbolizes the expectations of your classroom and how important it is to establish daily routines and schedules, especially for young ones, so they know what's coming every day. The notebook here symbolizes the complaint book that Dixie taught us about tattletales, and when they come up and want to tell you something that happened, have them note it down so that you can get all the facts and then see if it's really something you need to address. For an insight, I put reading, writing, and arithmetic equals recess. So keeping kids on target and practicing the rules of the classroom will turn into classroom behavior, which is good, and they get recess. Otherwise, they have to stay in class. My next set is the 1-minute manager. So the clock symbolizes the 1-minute manager. Teacher assigns the students tasks to get everyone involved and keep the class moving along. Gives them a specific time period so they understand how much time you want them to work on the project. And also gives the teacher time to re-grasp and figure out what she was going to teach. The notepad here, quiet work probation. One of the teachers I was observing, she used this when she was trying to get students engaged in quiet lessons that they were doing on their own. She would write them down and say that they were on quiet probation, and then she'd go back and 3 checks, they'd get off probation. If they didn't improve their behavior and start focusing on the lesson, then they'd stay on the probation and they'd lose a minute of recess or something. The top box starts out with a big old blowhorn. The insight on this was for if we start out as substitute teachers, and you go into a rowdy class, we don't want to go in there and just try to get them to quiet down immediately. You don't want to barge into a classroom, try to engage them and quietly gear them into the lesson plan for the day. And I have crayons and a lot of glue and fun things, and that it's very important that a teaching is made fun. If you can't make it fun in the classroom, it's going to be hard to engage your students. And at the bottom, my favorite is the lecture notes that I observed. I've seen that it's maybe better with 2 teachers. That's what I observed it in. So the teacher didn't have the back to the class. One was drawing, one was presenting, or like it was
use of a scribe.
Yeah, somebody else, or you go ahead and do the drawings ahead of time, and then just relieve one at a time so that you can keep the focus of the class. Take visual items down every year because the students are different, and then for the synonyms, using different words so that you're teaching the children so that they can successfully test if something is presented in a different vocabulary. So, this is my presentation.